For a half century, it has been generally admitted that we have here the Tetragrammaton. That just means four-letter, name of God. The name of the Israelite God, Yahweh. And if this be the case, and listen to what he says, as it undoubtedly is, the passage constitutes a most precious indication of the whereabouts. Here's the date of this inscription. During the late 15th century BC, about 1410 BC, contemporary with the end of Moses' life, according to biblical chronology, of the enclave revering this God. Okay. I rushed to the excavation reports in the library. This is the temple built by Amenhotep III, who is the Pharaoh of the Conquest. And in it, he lists his foreign enemies. And one of them he identifies as the Nomads of Yahweh. What a better way. This is contemporary with the end of the wilderness wanderings. What a better way to describe a people who are following their God named Yahweh as a pillar of fire at night and a cloud by day than the nomads who worship Yahweh. He didn't call them Israel, he called them by a much more important name than Israel. Here it is on the excavation report. Okay, really fast hieroglyphic lesson. This means land. The slash up here. The rest are like letters. They carry a phonetic sound. The rest of the hieroglyphs. These three right here sound out the name Shazu. Shazu, land of the Shazu, which translates nomads. Land of the nomads. And then these four letters here, these one hieroglyph is double feather, which is the Yah, followed by the house, the H, okay, followed by the noose, which is the W sound, and then followed by the W-E, the bird, way. Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Land of the nomads of Yahweh. I was so excited. I went and got a ticket and went to Sudan and rented a driver in a four-wheel drive vehicle. That's where I slept on my trip. Took 3 days of traveling. Okay. No luxury vacation to get to the temple of Amenhotep III at Soleb in Sudan. And here today is that inscription.
Oh, wow.
Now there's many inscriptions that have been found that mention the name of the God Yahweh. Okay? This is the oldest. 15th century BC. Remember Exodus 3? That happened just before this time period where Moses sees the burning bush and he comes over to the burning bush and God is commissioning him to go and he's going to set his people free. And Moses asks for God's name and God tells him, I am who I am. Tell him I am have sent you. I am is what the name means. But the name itself is Yahweh. And so, and then within Moses' lifetime, we have it on an inscription. And then we have many inscriptions from the 13th century, from the Moabite stone has it that I was talking about from the 9th century. We saw the silver amulets from the 6th century that have the name. We saw that other inscription in the Israel Museum that mentions it from the 6th century. So many of them. In fact, that verse where God reveals his name, God says, this is the name that I am to be called. Yahweh is the name that I am to be called from generation to generation forever. And we have these inscriptions from that time all the way down through. This is where Yahweh lived for over 300 years. One thing on top of another, probably right there.
Wow.
And of course, this is where the tabernacle was, the Holy of Holies in the tabernacle, God's presence. Here is where the Nomads of Yahweh, in this 15th century BC inscription, this is where they first settled for the first 300 years when they were in the land here, until the ark was taken to battle at Aphek and the Philistines captured it. Okay, and then the news came back. That was the end of Eli. He died, and Samuel becomes the judge, prophet, leader of Israel.